See. Hey,
Hey, look
good
who's
evening.
here. You got your necklace on and everything.
Trying to figure out the lighting. Well, I had to get dressed today.
I know
So
you had a big day.
I figured I'd just take advantage of having clothes on and keep them on for tonight. I know it's probably throwing everybody off. It's still me, guys. You can probably tell by the hair. Um, but yeah, so for lunch, I was a guest lecturer at ECC. And then for dinner, I guess, I gave the commencement address for the 2021 graduates of Brian and Stratton.
Wow.
But everything's pre-recorded, so I just recorded it today, and then it'll be
I'm telling you,
streamed for graduation
you
day.
are making a mark. You are doing it.
And I don't, I find it so not strange, but it doesn't impact. Like I don't see it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like if you were to tell me that you did that stuff today, I would be I'd be mouth open, like, oh my God, Carl.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, they called and it's really
That's what you do. It's what you do.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
But that's huge. I just don't see it that. Like if I think of it for someone else, like the commencement address of a college,
that is huge.
A national school, like
that's huge.
How do you pull something like that off?
It's called, well, a few things. It's called believing in yourself. It's called hard work. It's called just bring the goods. You bring the goods. And you're known for what you do. And you are a proud alum. So they're going to tap you for that.
Actually, I'm not.
Oh, that's right. You're Empire State, right?
Yep, Empire State and Canisius.
So how did you get into Brian Stratton? How did they?
So Canisius, believe it or not, a student, one of my classmates. We're friends now, but at the time we were classmates. We met in grad school. So my friend AJ works at Brian and Stratton, and they were talking about commencement speakers and who should come in. And he's like, my friend was an adult student. She's awesome. You got to call her. I'm like, what? Call me?
For me?
I'm awesome. And you hear it, but it doesn't resonate, which is cool. I mean,
congratulations. That's great.
Thank you.
That's great stuff.
Thank you. So hopefully it will help someone. Being an adult student was hard. Life is hard, but plus mental illness. And so tonight, Carl.
Yes.
We're talking about Stress Awareness Month.
I didn't even know there was such a thing until you texted me earlier and said, hey, let's talk about Stress Awareness Month. And I said, oh, that's a new one.
I didn't know it was a thing until, where did I read it? Maybe I was in a meeting and they mentioned it in passing. And I'm like, Stress Awareness Month. I had to look it up because I never knew it was a thing. It's Stress Awareness Month. So now I feel like maybe we could have shifted some topics and, come up with something else to do before, but stress is everywhere every day.
Absolutely. So, now more than ever.
Yes.
Now more than ever. I did a program today for NICE at New York State Union Teachers, but it was specifically for counselors, school counselors.
Yeah.
And they were expressing their stressors of just dealing with administration and not having any time off, right? Because last summer they really worked through the summer getting ready for the next academic year because of all the changes, and also having things change on any given day, and their own personal lives. It's just one person said it's overwhelming. One person put in the chat, this is just all overwhelming for me.
It's never something you expect. Like you can't prepare for this.
No.
And when you think about all of the disaster preparedness things, drills and plans and things like that you put together, this isn't one of the exercises.
No, it's not like keeping 10 jugs of water in the basement.
Right.
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 Extra batteries in case the lights go out. No.
And it's so tough. So tough. I'm trying to share our broadcast and I'm
Oh,
having
yes.
difficulty, Carl.
Yes. Talk about stress, right? So let me see if I can.
Oh my goodness. And it's amazing because a lot of folks don't realize that stress is a part of your life no matter what you do. Stress isn't a bad thing. Fight or flight, that's a stress. It can save you. But I mean, there's physical stress. Sitting
Right.
in a chair, that's stress. Standing up, walking upstairs, having a birthday celebration, right? All those things are that's all different types of stress. But it's when it becomes a problem when you're not managing it or it's turning into something else.
Right.
That's the thing that a lot of people just don't see the correlation, between high blood pressure and diabetes and obesity, right? Heart attacks. It just stress can kill you.
Yeah. Well, we know that stress creates inflammation. That's a big thing right there. So if you're experiencing inflammation, then it's going to affect you in all kinds of ways, physically, mentally, and so forth. So
Right.
it's really, it is very sensitive.
And then, when you consider always where we are right now and everything that we're going through, folks weren't managing stress well before. Think about all of the cortisol commercials and weight loss pills and, behind stress, all focused on stress eating. And we didn't have this in the bag before before this time last year.
Right.
Right. It was out of control this time last year. And so to be here now and understanding, I'm thankful for the tools that I have to be able to manage everyday stress, but it can still be overwhelming.
Yep. Yeah. So it's sort of like it's never ending, and you don't know. Like a lot of times, yeah, you don't know where it's coming from, where it's going to go next, and it's I don't know. I mean, I recently have been doing a lot, a lot of things, and what I'm finding is that it's almost like you go into autopilot,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not good either because that's when you
No.
start to neglect yourself, right? Neglect your own basic needs,
And
and yeah,
I was able to finally make it happen here. Um, and a lot of times you don't even realize you're in autopilot until you're no longer in autopilot, right?
right,
Like, man, I'm home like, how did I get home from work? You can miss turns, you can make whole meals, you can have conversations with people, grocery shopping. You're going through life in this autopilot phase. Your body knows how to react and respond in certain places. It knows how to put food in a basket. It knows how to drive the car and get home. Muscle memory is a real thing. And it is necessary to just, take a break sometimes and pause.
Victoria, I like Victoria's comment. I wish I worked for this company. Maybe I should do this for myself, seeing that I'm in business for myself. Says, I was on a call today. Some businesses are paying employees $250 a week to take time off. Think about that.
I'll do it.
Can I pay myself $250 to take
That's the thing.
time off?
That's the thing. Will you pay yourself? Because if my job did that, I'm like, oh, great. That means I've got more time for front seat life.
Yeah. See, I'm in a position, as you know, and some others may. Well, yeah, I'm in my own business now. So, but see, people think, oh, you're in business for yourself. You could just take time whenever you want to. No, I'm still in that grind mode where I'm just getting my footing, and
Right.
I'm not at a point where I can just have people do things for me and have people work for me. I'm pretty much me. But in the same respect, hey, you know what? I'll take it. It's a really cool thing. But like I said, the stress piece is there. And I mean, recently I was seriously stressing about things. So I know with that though, there's things that we need to do to alleviate stress. Like I said, I was just on this program today with NICET, and I shared a lot of self-care tools. But the last one, it said, be good to yourself, right? Plain and simple. Be good to yourself. Whatever that is.
Right. It's different for everyone.
Just be good to yourself, and you deserve it.
It is different for everyone.
Right. And you're right, Victoria, it's not a one-time thing. You have to be regular with this and intentional.
And how do you do that? I try. And I mean, I am in a different place, right? I've mastered the basics. I feel like I've even mastered that, intermediate level stress. But I feel like there's always a next level. There's always, the next goal. You'll be probably proud of me. I've started doing morning meditations.
Nice.
And it really helps set the day. Mm-hmm. Like, I think I'm still functioning and able to really have a conversation with you tonight because I meditated this morning.
Yeah.
It took a half an hour. I was surprised, but wow. I was able to do half an hour and guided with breaks, within the guided meditation. I'm not expert level, but I've been doing it for the last, it started, Carl, because of the research project that I'm working on at UB. Mm-hmm. So right now we're running the pilot and giving the interventionists the opportunity to run through the program, start to finish, with people in the room. And, what is it like to drum up conversation and that kind of thing. And it's a mindfulness-based stress reduction project. And of course, meditation is going to come up in that, that conversation. So I'm like, I have these tools at hand that I don't use often enough. And I don't use them intentionally. They're there, but it's not a part of my daily routine.
Right.
My mom just said, and it doesn't come up here, I think she has to change her permissions. She says, we tend not to care for ourselves. We've heard pay ourselves first when we're trying to save money. But how many of us actually do that when it comes to mental health and self-care?
Oh, that's a great point.
She's my mom for a reason, I'm telling you.
Hey, listen, I wish I had my mom around to share those words of wisdom, those pearls. I miss my mom. So, but your mom's right. I mean,
share mine.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Thanks, Mom. We always have to remember that you're the most important person in your life. Right. In reality, right? No one should come before you.
And that's not selfish.
It's not.
That is not selfish. And we have to get past this notion of self-care. We talk about this, right? This overuse of the word self-care. Self-care really isn't getting your nails done. Now, that may be a part of a routine, right? But there are some deep things that we need to do in order to take care of ourselves. That may be, I need to spend time away from family, or I need alone time. I need some time to focus, right? And so I'm going to do this thing. But if we aren't intentional, those things that we do become things that we do. They don't become stress relievers.
Right.
I mean, I'm not knocking. I mean, you guys go get your nails done. Go ahead. But sometimes we got to dive deeper.
Yeah.
Right. You got to dive deeper.
Yeah, and I think, as I always like to say, exercise is a great stress reliever, and doesn't mean you have to run marathons or whatever. Walking. So tonight, I told you I had this very full day of this Zoom stuff and everything, and my daughter came over. We had dinner together. Had Japanese, which I like, and so in the meantime, after dinner, I kind of clean up the kitchen, and I said to them, I said, I'm going to take a quick walk before the show. And I just walked around the block, and it would end up being like maybe 15 minutes, maybe a little more. But bottom line, it was just what I needed. It was
Awesome.
the air, and it was cold. I mean, I had this sweater on and a jean jacket, and I got out there. I was like, wait, I probably need more clothes on. But I was walking very, very briskly,
Okay.
walking quickly. And I had my little earbuds in and listened to a little Black Uhuru. And but I'll tell you, it did the trick. I was breathing. I was breathing fresh air, and I feel better, all the better for it. And you are a cycling enthusiast as well.
I am.
And I'm looking forward to maybe Saturday. Saturday's gonna be a decent day, not super warm, but warm enough to get out on my bike and hit the road.
I am looking forward to that big time. I planned on going out when I got home. I bought some new pants and tried them on when I first got them about a month or so ago. I'm like, I'm gonna wear the new pants today with the new jacket. So have the jacket, that's easy. I start putting on the pants. I couldn't get them on. You know how much elastic is in cycling pants?
Oh, I wear them. I wear the shorts.
Yeah, the fact that I pull them up and wear them comfortably said I maybe need to cut back on some stress eating and wear the pants from last year that still fit.
Yeah.
But that's life, right? And where I was last October at the end of the cycling season is not where I am today at the beginning.
Right.
And it's okay, right? It's wise for me not to stress my body out and try and bust out a 40-mile ride. Like, that's not wise, even though that brought me great pleasure and was very stress relieving last year. Physically, I'm not there. It's not even possible.
But that's why you got to get yourself a trainer for riding over the wintertime.
So I did get a stationary bike.
No, well, not so much stationary. Well, this is one where you can hook up your actual bike, and you hook up the back wheel, and you ride inside, and that's what I do. I mean, same kind of thing, but you're doing, yeah, it's okay. You're still doing it. Hey, Victoria.
Thanks, Vic.
But I'm really excited to be out riding. I rode over the week. I'm just kind of getting out on the weekends now. I need to get out during the week, though. I need to, once again, make the time. So I'm going for PT right now at the Community Health Center Buffalo. If anybody out there needs good physical therapy, Dr. Darlene at Community Health Center Buffalo, Dr. Darlene Kent is the one. And she is amazing. So I go in there for PT, and her words to me are, health is wealth. So in other words, make the time, because your health is the most important thing you got. Right? And
once it's gone.
Once you lose it, game over.
Yeah.
So, and also I know too, and I've said this many times, moving is important. Just moving, keeping those joints moving, those, build that muscle and all that, because once again, like anything else, stuff atrophies. It just
If you don't use it, you lose it. Like,
exactly.
That is an absolutely positive statement. And you don't have to go to the gym. Like you said, it's movement, right? Getting up and walking around the house, going and putting clothes in the wash, or, maybe you just take the stairs a couple of times because you're not going anywhere and you need to get some movement going.
I'll tell you though,
walking in the house. Yes.
I'll tell you, YouTube is amazing with what they have on there. Now, mind you, as we always say, or as I always like to say, and too, Kelly, make sure you check with your doctor.
Always.
Don't do anything too rigorous. Make sure you handle, especially if you're doing a more rigorous exercise regimen, just make sure you know what you're doing. But once you get in that habit, and that's the whole idea, because it goes back to stress, right? I know if I'm exercising regularly, then it's going to diminish my stress. I started running in 1998. I was working at Buffalo State, my first job in the field of higher education. And so I started running just because I was overweight. But I really got into it. And I'll tell you, I got into, just basic exercise, running, and then I transitioned to cycling. But I haven't had virtually any significant mental health conditions or disorders since then. I've been able to kind of, other self-care tools, but the exercise has been a big part of it.
And I don't know if you saw Victoria's comment, walking at home with Leslie. I've done some of hers back when we had DVDs. You can get miles walking it. She has a routine, and you only need, like 2 square feet to be able to do all of this walking and movement. Then it gets the blood pumping. It is low impact. You can take your time with it. You can speed it up and do a little more if you want to. That is actually a great resource, Vicki. Thank you.
Yeah. You know what I've done, which is kind of fun. It kind of goes back to the idea of the bike on the trainer. There are videos, virtual cycling videos on YouTube. So someone in the video has a little Go camera and they're riding, and it's like you see the image. It's like you're riding through the hills of the Alps or Italy or whatever, and you got this beautiful scenery. I posted actually just the other day on Facebook. I was doing my PT at the health center, warming up, and she said, "Oh, where do you want to go?" And I said, "Niagara Falls." So it was a route that you actually take along the river, goes up to the falls. But I've ridden that route. I've actually ridden that for real, and it is the coolest ride. My friend Dane and I, we started right over the border. We parked our car in the parking lot. Oh no, wait, no, we didn't. We parked our car at the Seneca Niagara Casino, and we rode over the Rainbow Bridge, and we picked it up, and we rode all the way around. It was a fun ride, a real fun ride.
That's nice. That's my goal, to be able to ride from here, there. Vicki, can you tell us about the Shine app in the comments? Last year, my friends, I'm not on their biking level, but they started here, and last year they rode up to, they ride everywhere, but the falls was one of their routes.
Oh, I like this, Victoria.
Oh no!
That voiced by multicultural voices. Oh, that's a good one.
So Shine up, I use Calm because that's what was available, for the last little while. I've downloaded Liberation. I haven't used them yet, and it's funny enough that you mentioned specifically this app. Because on Calm, I only listen to, melanated voices.
Well, there's
not
also,
it's a different kind of.
Insight Timer. Insight Timer is another app. They have over 70,000 guided meditations, thousands of teachers. I mean, it's probably the world's biggest like most popular app. But they have people of all ethnicities, and they have, so if you sign up for the premium version, which I think is like $59 a year, which isn't much if you feel like investing in it, they have lessons, all kinds of stuff you can do. There's groups. It has a little bit of a social media feel, but there are, once again, multicultural voices on that as well.
What's the name of that one?
Insight Timer.
Insight Timer. So we've got Insight Timer, Shine, Liberate. There's a lot of options out there, and even more that have come out in the last year, which I really appreciate. Thank you to all of the folks out there making content for the rest of us, because it's necessary and needed. And this is how, you get the word out.
Yeah. So Victoria also likes podcasts for stress and crafting with my circuit. Hey, this is a good opportunity for me to talk about my podcast.
Yes, it is.
Thank you, Victoria, for that little plug. I started my own podcast this past weekend called Mental Health Versus. Mm-hmm. And it's built around conversations I have with my guests about the music that lifts up their mental health. And I did the first one, just me kind of talking about some music I like and kind of laying the groundwork for it. And then I'm going to have some incredible guests. I got my daughter coming on this week. I've got this woman named Kelly Wooford who was referred to me. I don't know, Kelly, is it Kelly Wooford? Kelly Wooford.
Might have heard of her.
I heard Kelly is awesome. So I said, I got to get this Kelly Wooford on my show, on my podcast. And she said, yes, she's so busy. She's doing a million things, but she said yes to me to be on my podcast.
I think it's on her calendar.
Yeah. No, but it's been a lot of fun. I got Jessica Pirro,
Oh, I love
Christ
Jessica.
Services, and Constantino from Horizon Health Services.
Oh, yes.
I got Keith O'Neill, who played with the Indianapolis Colts when they won the Super Bowl. He's local. He went to Sweet Home High School. He's a friend of mine. He has got a Super Bowl ring. And so he lives with bipolar disorder. He's a big fan of this hard rock group called Tool. So not Tool, 311. So we'll probably just haul it here 311. But it's going to be a no judgment thing too. So you bring whatever music you want.
Right.
It's for you. So
I appreciate that. I appreciate the design of your podcast.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop saying that. Vicky's like, schedule her. Schedule Victoria, please. Podcasting is a whole nother conversation for me, only because mine has been in the works for the last 2 years, and maybe I'll do it eventually, but nah, I don't know.
We'll
what?
See. I got someone good. I got someone good I'm working with, Jamil Cruz.
And so, that actually is beneficial, right? That goes back to stress and stress management. We are, a lot of folks are able to do a lot of different things, right? But just because you can do it doesn't mean that it's taking stress or relieving stress and getting that done, right? Sometimes you got to let the professionals do what they do and pay for it.
Yep.
And take that stress off of you.
Exactly. And I'll tell you something. If I didn't have him, it wouldn't be happening, because I can't do it all by myself. It would be stressful. I mean, I went in there. He was great and easy to work with. But you're right. Sometimes there's times when it's kind of like this thing where I know, like, I've got a house and I've got a yard and I have a very, very big tree in my backyard with a lot of leaves. And so, I've got these back issues. And so this is the first time ever I had someone else take care of the leaves in my backyard in the fall. In fact, like I need a maid. I paid my daughter to do it. Mind you, she did it, but I paid her. I said, hey, this is for your time. And she did it. But it's sort of like, was it worth stressing over, saying, oh, I got to do this, and the time? And sometimes it's worth a little investment for peace of mind and to take that stress off yourself. I know you can't do it for everything, because there's a cost, right? And I know none of us, I don't think on this, at least right now, I imagine, are independently wealthy. Maybe you are.
If you are, we are accepting sponsors. We'll talk with Kelly and Carl is open to sponsorship. If you are independently wealthy, please contact Carl or myself.
Yeah, we are open to sponsorship. No, but really though, sometimes it's worth it. But the whole idea though is that when you are doing something that you love, then in a way that kind of relieves some of the stress too, because it's a passion. And I know, Kelly, you are uber passionate about what you do with Front Seat Life, and I'm passionate about the work that I do. And I think in a way, even though things are stressful, it helps to mitigate the stress. Sometimes we can even thrive off it sometimes. But you still have to know your limits.
Right.
Like last week when you just said, I can't do this.
Yeah. Last week was brutal. I think it was the weather. I don't know. But Mari said, no matter the task, you're going to spend time or money. Pick the easier.
Yep.
There's going to be a cost regardless. So pick the one that is less stressful, that provides you with less stress.
Yep.
I'm down with that. I need more money so that I can spend less time on some of this stuff. And it's tough. I mean, even, tonight, setting up for the show, this is same space, same area, but it's a different, angle, because my computer is acting up. So instead of trying to figure out what's wrong, that would raise my stress level, and it's not necessary when I have a perfectly good option in my laptop, right? I don't even have to worry about it. I don't have to think about it. It is just a paperweight at the moment, and that's okay, because I can't afford to have the time spent on stressing over that machine over there.
Yeah. So the reality is that finding things that you can do to alleviate stress is some stress about meals can help lower stress
Yes.
or out or have a
Yeah.
chef or hire a chef. Well, so for instance, sometimes I know Fridays typically in this household, it's order out night. That's just how it is. My wife honestly is the one who does more of the cooking. That's just how it is. But Fridays are like, okay, she'll always say to me, "So, what are you making tonight?"
Like, let's
What's your pleasure?
see.
So
What am I making?
yeah. So I think I can pull up a menu here.
And that's where I am. It's using that example, actually, Vicky and Carl both. For me to cook, I don't know how to cook for one person. I really need to, cook for at least 3 people, and then we'll have leftovers, right? But that's perfect for meal planning and meal prepping.
Mm-hmm.
If I can cook for 5 people, I can cook for one person 5 times.
Right.
But then you get into that whole, I don't want to eat the same thing 5 times, which is a different discussion. But still, I do have tools and knowledge
And a freezer.
my database here.
And a freezer.
And a freezer. I could do that. Might have to buy a microwave. No, folks, I don't have a microwave.
You don't have a microwave?
I don't.
Wow.
And so it was a conscious decision not to purchase one because I was buying too much microwavable food. I wanted to force myself to cook.
Yeah.
Again, being one person, I can get some pot pies, throw those in there. Marie Callender pot pies are of the devil, let me tell you. They're so delicious. And so it wasn't a healthy choice for me. So I heat my food up on the stove, and totally old school. I do have a convection oven just because of the ability to do some, things a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Like in the summertime, I'll have to fire up the whole oven. I can bake in the convection.
We got an air fryer. I got us an air fryer for Christmas.
I love so I have a Instant Pot and got the air fryer lid. Yeah, that was actually
air fryer, but same idea.
It was the best gift ever. And talk about stress relief, to be able to put, and you guys, Instant Pots are just pressure cookers. So if you got a pressure cooker from 19 something, it's really the same thing. It just doesn't beep and have, all the modern buttons. But to be able to put everything in the pot, one thing is a crock pot because you put it in the morning and it's ready at night. But the Instant Pot, put it in there and it's ready in an hour. Oh, I'm telling you, that has been the most, for me, revolutionary piece of kitchen. I'll say kitchen attire, but that's not the right word. Whatever
kitchen
goes
utensil, kitchen appliance.
Accessory appliance. Yes. Yeah.
Well, our air fryer, we love our air fryer. I use the air fryer too, and so chicken wings. Who doesn't? Well, I shouldn't say who doesn't love chicken wings. I'm sure there's vegetarians who don't like chicken wings, but I love chicken wings, and that's actually one thing we do on Fridays sometimes. If we don't order out, use the air fryer for chicken wings. And my wife, back many, many, many years ago, when she was very young, used to work at Bob and John's La Hacienda on Hurdle, and she made chicken wings. Making them in. So she has the sauce thing down, and she does them well.
Like I could drop off some wings maybe and swing back around an hour or so. Is that what you're telling me, Susie? Where are you?
I'll see what I can do.
She can bring them to work. Like once we're back, I'm one building
she
over.
Went in today. She was in Townsend today.
Oh wow!
For the first time, actually working today.
And so, how was that stress level? Was that?
She actually did pretty well. She felt good being in there. She had to take care of some IT things once again. Just kind of, you're talking about IT, but I think it felt good for her. She's fully vaccinated, and so she's saying, well, I think I'm going to go in a couple of days a week, even though right now there's still this sort of virtual hybrid kind of mode kind of thing. Yeah. But she says, yeah, I'll go. We live literally about a mile away. So nice. Some days I can drive her there and she can walk home. which is her plan. She wants to talk about exercise. It'll take her about maybe 30 minutes or so, 25, 30 minutes.
And so my goal is to, my mom's having wings tomorrow. My goal is to ride my bike to work.
Yes.
So I don't know if, no, so I wasn't feeling well last Wednesday. So Thursday when I got up, I woke up like I had been asleep for 20 years. I was so refreshed, put on my clothes, went for a bike ride. First ride of the year, get on the bike, flying down the street. I'm like, this is great. Oh my gosh. I cannot believe that I have not been able to do this since last year.
Yeah.
Riding down the street, I get up to Humboldt, which is like 8 houses. He's funny, 8 houses away. So that's probably 15 seconds of riding from my house to the corner. By the time I got to the corner, Carl, I was a little tired.
Oh.
So I need to ease into riding again because the body, again, if you don't use it, you lose it. I've been sitting in this chair since this time last year.
Yep.
So I am, I'm working up to, although on the 24th, there is a bike ride for Pride and Place Buffalo. We'll be doing I'm not going to tell you guys how many miles. We're doing a bike ride. More information to come. Flyers in the works, but it's going to be a bike ride that highlights the gyms of the East Side. So I'm really looking forward to that. That is why, I contacted you about the reschedule, because now that, sometimes when you have to step in and do something that someone else is not able to do, it kind of gives you a little more energy, a little more excitement. And to know now that I have to ride my bike for work, I need to do something between now and the 24th so I can make it on that trip. So I'm excited about that.
Good.
I am.
Good.
We are at 9:07, believe it or not.
Yep. We just got running our mouths.
Sometimes just get to talking. Yeah. I want to tell everybody about the event on the 29th. Thank you so much, Vic. You're awesome. The Buffalo Center for Health Equity and the Mental Health Coalition, well, it's the Mental Health Coalition of the African American Health Equity Task Force and the Buffalo Center for Health Equity, of which I lead and Carl is a member. We are holding an event. It's called Too Much and Not Enough, Managing Relationships During COVID-19. We have put together an amazing group of people that will be offering breakout sessions for people to really talk about the tools, the coping strategies, how they're managing themselves in their interpersonal relationships. So there is a breakout group for, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'll start with the ones that I know. Carl will be leading the group on African American men's health or mental health. I think it's for men only, is the title. It is for men only, but it's also entitled for men only. For teens only, which is going to be led by Katie Walsh over at Compeer. Aaron M. Moss will be leading the group on romantic and interpersonal relationships. Dr. Kelly Lucci will be leading the group on parenting and caregiver relationships. And Dr. Linda Passar and Pastor Garney Davis Jr. will be leading the breakout group on isolation, stress, or isolation, grief, and loss. They really thought it was important to add isolation to the equation. As we're suffering grief and loss and managing, not just in death, but still managing life without, right? And without so many things, they wanted to add isolation to that. A lot of folks are isolated, even when they are with, a group of people. And so they will be covering isolation, grief, and loss. And then my group is called Too Much and Not Enough, but we're going to be focusing on boundaries. And so no matter what relationship you're in, boundaries are going to be important. So more information on the Buffalo Center for Health Equity's website, buffalohealthequity.org. We'll put that flyer in here so you guys can share it out. It is free. And it's April 29th. I think 6:30, Carl? I forgot the time.
Yes.
April 29th, 6:30 to 8. So it's only an hour and a half. When I say jam-packed, you guys are gonna walk into the virtual room. We're opening the doors early because we are starting at 6:30. And so I encourage you guys to join us.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Some more information to come. It will be in the comments. Mari says, you guys are great. I truly enjoy this session. Thank you. Thank you so much. She's awesome.
Thank you. So do you have some things to share?
Resource numbers?
Yes.
Okay, I was like, do I have more announcements? Because if I did, I forgot. By way of resources, yes, I do, Carl. If you, first of all, talking about calling your doctor. If you're experiencing a medical emergency, please call 911 or go to your nearest emergency room. Some folks are still not addressing their physical health because of concerns over COVID, but the hospitals have protocols in place that are really addressing the issues, from my standpoint. So please continue to put your health first. Call 911 or head over to your nearest emergency room. If you're looking for resources and you hear us talking about stress and different topics and you want to know where to turn, where you can go, if you're looking for caregiver resources or parenting resources, any type of social service or life type of situations, you can call 211, or you can go to 211 on your phone or in your web browser, and the website will come up. You can do a keyword search. If you call, the folks you talk to are absolutely amazing. They're local. 211 will allow you to plug right into those resources. They give you a long list. If you go to the website, it will show you a long list, and you will be able to have all those folks right at your fingertips. Carl?
All right. And if you're in crisis and you feel that your life is at risk, you call Crisis Services of Erie County. The number is 834-3131. The number for Crisis Services in Niagara County is 285-3515. And you can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline anywhere in the country at 1-800-273-8255, 1-800-273-TALK. And yes, Kelly, I did go online. I checked it out, and that 988 number is not active yet.
Okay.
It's coming, but not yet. So the 1-800 number is still what you should call. In addition, we have the Mental Health Advocates of West New York for other resources. The number is 886-1242. Oh, also the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline text number is help to 741-741.
With that, we hope that you all have a peaceful, tranquil, restful sleep. I hope that you wake up refreshed and ready to take on the day, even if that's just chilling in the bed. I am Kelly Marie Wolford from Front Seat Life, LLC, and
I'm Carl Schallhorn. And then, like I said, you can listen to Mental Versus on Spotify. So if you have Spotify,
can you put the link here for folks?
No, just go to Spotify and search Mental Health Versus. That's all you got to do. Mental Health Versus, not VERSUZ, VERSES. I'm not trying to rip off, which is awesome. No, that ain't what I'm doing. But yeah, just search Mental Health Versus in Spotify.
Until next time, folks, be the light.
Be well.